I always have to pinch this. I know, I'm totally not your typical businesswoman. Totally not. I gotta have some fire. Actually, some pine forest fire. I gotta have some tea. Actually, tonight I have lemon, fresh squeezed lemon, boiling hot water, and some apple cider vinegar. And my sage. So thank you for everyone who is going to join or not join or eventually watch my business journey journal, which, as you can tell, the name Business Journey at the top is spelled wrong. But that's okay. See, my business journey journal is really in regards to my business, and I'm journaling it, but I'm sharing it with you at the same time. So as I'm going through my business journey, I'm sharing it and doing it with you. So I created this on Canva probably about 5 minutes ago, and I didn't realize that the Business Us in Ness journey was spelled wrong. So it's okay to make mistakes. You know, and I was talking to someone earlier today, and they were talking about they're such a failure, and I want to let them know, especially when they watch this, you're not a failure. You have to fail in order to learn. And if you don't learn, you continue to fail. But eventually, if you don't stop and you keep going, you'll get it right and the way that it's supposed to be. So I got my new hat in. It says Envision Capture Rome. It's a hot pink, and I have lime green, and my son was like, Mom, can I get that hat? And I'm like, yo, that's Mama's hat. So, anyways, let's continue. So behind me, you'll see a mound of dirt. You'll also see Envision Dream, my Envision Dream logo, right? I have a reason behind my madness. So, in order for me to have an introduction to my business journey, I have to have a business. But in order to have a business, I needed to have a business idea. So technically, before I started my business, I had a brain that was like this mound of dirt. It was just sitting there, not being utilized. So that's what this mound of dirt is representing in my business journal journey today. So then, in order to speak with someone and to explain to them what a business idea is, of course, I go to the dictionary. So what is a business idea? I mean, we look at it possibly as this mound of dirt. This is your brain. You want to come up with an idea. So a business idea is a starting point for any current or future entrepreneurs. It is essential because it is the beginning of a new life, the life of a business, and the life of an entrepreneur. So when I first saw this mound of dirt, I said to myself, if that was me and I had a mound of dirt, what can I do with that mound of dirt? You have many options. You can leave it there and just keep on going. Or you can take what you have and try to make something out of that. So some people have said to me, not everybody knows exactly what a business idea is, and not everybody knows exactly what an entrepreneur is. And it's not until you start going to research and start applying all of these ideas and putting them out there do you start understanding what it means. So when I talk to people, they'll say to me, well, Sheri, I don't know, well, what's an entrepreneur? What do they do? What do they do? Most people know the term, right? But an entrepreneur will take that mound of dirt and they might start selling that dirt. Okay? So an entrepreneur is an individual who creates a new business, bearing most of the risks and enjoying most of the rewards. So for instance, the entrepreneur says, okay, I have this mound of dirt. Let me sell this mound of dirt. Now he's created a business, right? What's his risk? His risk is that he sells all this dirt and now he has no more dirt, right? Or he sells the dirt for a profit, for his own profit. Now he can buy more mounds of dirt and sell it. And when he goes through the first mound of dirt, he's got a profit, right, that he can invest. But he's still got land that he can work with. So there's many different ways to kind of look at it. This is just one of my perceptions, okay? Entrepreneurs who prove to be successful in taking on the risks of a startup are rewarded with profits and continued growth opportunities. There are 4 types of entrepreneurs, okay? So anyone interested in starting and running their own business should consider which entrepreneurial model they prefer. There's small business, scalable startup, large company, and social entrepreneurship. I did not investigate or look up any 4 of these types of entrepreneurs. When I decided I wanted to be an entrepreneur, I went straight towards small business. And that was just me. So everyone has a different way of doing it. I'm just giving you an introduction to Sheri's small business. There are 7 characteristics of successful entrepreneurs. I know I might say the word a little off, but I don't know. Self-motivation. One of the most important traits of entrepreneurs is self-motivation. You are going to be your biggest challenger. The only person that can doubt you in your endeavor is going to be you. If you are an entrepreneur, you have to understand that you need to be able to self-motivate yourself. Because when you start moving forward and you start growing, you're going to find that you really need to rely on yourself and your intuition. You have to have a lot of confidence, and you've got to be willing to take the hits, because if you don't take those hits, how are you going to move forward? It's similar to someone who keeps getting put down, like a bully bullying somebody, constantly throwing shots at them, right? Well, how do you beat a bully? What's the saying? Whatever you say bounces off of me and sticks to you. So you got to have that tough skin. Understand what you offer. As an entrepreneur, you need to know what you offer and how it fits into the market. I can tell you guys right now, that is why I'm doing this. I'm trying to learn so that when I'm telling people about my company, I'm saying it in a way that they're able to understand what it is that I have already visualized or put together. So part of this process is not only for me to learn, but it's also for you to learn, or vice versa. You got to take risks. You got to have some basic money management skills and knowledge. You have to be flexible, and you have to have your passion behind it. So the 7 characteristics all summed up is self-motivation, understanding what you offer, taking risks, know how to network, basic money management skills and knowledge, flexibility, and passion. It's kind of funny because in my Envision dream, you see the sun behind the mountain of elevation, right? So you got a mound of dirt, right? And that sun represents fire, your passion. Your passion is what elevates you and pushes you forward, right? So for part of the characteristics, you need to have your passion behind you to elevate you. So another reasoning as to why I use the mound of dirt. 3 important skills of a successful entrepreneur: adaptability, persistence, and hard work. So those are the 3 keys to success in a small business. But I also want you to understand that whatever you take from what I'm saying today, you don't have to use those 3 keys just for a small business or just for entrepreneurship. You can use those keys for financial management, for starting a new health plan, or, a new workout routine, or starting, an education, whatever it is, but you're going to need these skills, which is adaptability, persistence, and hard work. And you mix that with your characteristics of flexibility, passion, and self-motivation, and understanding what you offer. And when you start putting it all together, then you can keep moving forward. So before I move on a little bit more, hi everybody, thank you for joining me tonight. If you want me to repeat any of the characteristics, the skills, the types, I can do that for you as well. Again, the video is going to be re-uploaded for you, so you don't have to worry about that. But again, I was really thinking about this as I was taking down the information, and I said to myself, well, before I had a business idea, I always kind of knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I always had those characteristics and those skills, but I never really had a business idea. You know what I mean? Most people think that they just have to come up with a business idea and then do the entrepreneurship. But you don't necessarily have to do it that way. There is no set one way to start your business. All you have to do is start. Just know that just like a whole new eating routine or a whole new workout routine, a business or an entrepreneurship, starting a small business for yourself, that's a lifestyle change. It's not just doing it for 4 weeks and then that's it. It's a complete lifestyle change. But you don't have to make all these big, huge changes in the beginning. You can start slow. The other thing that I've been learning through this whole thing is I know a lot of people that would have an idea, want to do the entrepreneurship, but then they're like, I don't have the finances. If you're a go-getter and you're a hustler, you're going to figure out a way to get your things together so that when you have the money, you can do it. But you can start off on a small budget. You just have to have that basic management skills. You know, like add it into your budget each week. If you have a budget already for what you bring in a week, when you are putting so much away for yourself each week, figure out how much you would need to put away for your business. So technically, you have to remember, your business is your investment. You're investing in yourself. On the other hand, if it doesn't work out, you've lost all that money and you've taken a risk. So those are things you kind of have to weigh out. And that's what I've kind of been gradually doing, especially through this year with the pandemic. This has not been easy at all, but I do want to tell you something. If you truly want to own your own business and be an entrepreneur, there are things you can do when you don't have the money. You can prepare yourself. You can get yourself ready. It's no different than going to school and working at CVS. You know, like if you're going to high school or you're going to college, you always have one of those part-time jobs, whether it's at, you know, at the pharmacy or bussing tables, working at the fast food restaurant, right? Well, I have a full-time job, but I'm also want to live out my entrepreneurship, my dream. So that's kind of where I'm going with that. Anyways, so I started looking up introduction to business, right? Like I took introduction to business when I was at, I took it twice. Once at the community college, and then when I went to get my bachelor's at the university. So, and I ended up in business school. So I said, oh, let me go back. Let me see. I don't want this to be like, you know, this boring college education course, right? A lot of people have full-time and side hustle. Absolutely. And that's even without a pandemic. Imagine getting back on our feet. We're going to have a couple of side hustle jobs. But, so to get back to looking up introduction to business, right? So I came across how to introduce your business in a letter. But then I kept thinking to myself, well, most people are now online. So there is an introduction letter email, but there's also a lot of people are just like going on social media and they're introducing their businesses that way. So I figured, you know, why don't I just take that format and why don't I try to create my own introduction or introduce your business letter. And then I could read it to you and you can give me your input, whether it's good or bad, whether you learned something or not, right? So it says how to introduce your business in a letter. Start with a bang. Open with a sentence that grabs interest and establishes a reason to keep reading. Introduce yourself in terms that matter to the people whom you're writing. So basically, I should introduce myself in matters to the people I'm speaking to. Tell the prospect that what you can do for him or her. Keep your letter short. Make a clear point. And edit and proofread. If I had proofread, then I would have known that my title was spelled incorrectly. And then sign your letter. Moving on. So I wrote a letter. Here it is. I wrote a letter. Now, you can help me with this. Right now, it says, to whom it may concern. But I was thinking I could say, Dear envisioners from Envision Dream, or dare dreamers. So we'll just go with to whom it may concern. Are you ready to see your vision and be your vision? Good. We are too. At Envision Dream LLC, a newly launched e-commerce store, we believe in visualizing possibilities for future opportunities. We want to help you be the vision you see in yourself. When we search our life's purpose, we begin to move forward toward a destination that will fulfill our life's journey. As we navigate different paths, we hope you envision your own look, capture your own style, and roam wild and free. Remember, this is your journey. Wishing you all the best of envisioning your own dreams. Sincerely, Cheryl Pino, owner and creator, Envision Dream LLC. And as you can tell, this says Envision, Capture, Roam. That was my introduction letter to all of you. If you'd like, I could reread it, but I wouldn't want to put you through that. But it was kind of neat. I had to really think about it, and it was like, if I was in front of somebody and I'm introducing myself to them and I'm introducing my company to them, how am I going to do that where it's informative, it makes them think I want to see more or I want to know more about that company. I want to go and look at it. You know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? So I do have a quote for you all. If you are going through hell, keep going, by Winston Churchill. Thank you for joining me, Sheri, with my business journey journal. I will add some links below so we can stay connected. Our next My Business Journal is scheduled for January 12th with the topic 3 collections live right here at Sheri Dreamcatcher. You can also join us on January 13th if you're interested in our Sip and Think chat, which is just a discussion. It's pretty informal, but the topic is going to be the dreamer. I thank you all and have a wonderful night.